Liquid's been on a really good streak lately, especially if we rewind to how you were doing from the lead up to Boston. You failed to qualify. What do you think changed? What is it that changed your momentum to enable you to start getting back on the right track?
I think after TI6 with the old Team Liquid, I think we felt a bit broken after TI. It was very harsh that we only got top 8. And then we had some problems with players, and I think we were all pretty cocky. We knew that something needed to change, so we kept Boba. To be fair, Boba wasn't the main problem. Last year, we weren't confident in what we did, but we tried to copy other teams, and it didn't work out well in the end, because you can't change the play style you are doing too much. You can take some heroes, adjust just a little bit, but the core play style has to stay the same, because you can't just change yourself.
How do you know when it's time to make a roster change versus, strengthening as the same team and questioning it again?
I mean, you really don't. It's just you think this player is not doing his job. It might be you. That's the problem, because Dota is a very complex game. Mm-hmm. So very small factors lead into situations in game, and sometimes it's very hard to tell who's the real problem, or are we bad teammates for not helping him to improve and all that stuff.
What do you think is different this time, other than the roster changes? What do you think's different?
Well, we swallowed our egos and started working hard towards the end of the year, and here we are now. So won 4 tournaments, and to be fair, we didn't win the biggest ones, but we still won quite a bit tournaments, and I'm very confident coming into this TI. I think we have very good strategies prepared for this TI, and we're very confident in what we are doing. It feels a bit better to me.
Who do you want to see in the grand finals?
I'd like to play OG in the grand finals, actually.
Why?
It's my boy Finnish brother, Jerax.
Kuro, GH, welcome.
Thank you.
So we mentioned TI8. We all made a huge story out of the narrative that of all the teams we had seen come back as TI champs, this felt like the first real chance of seeing a repeat winner 2 years in a row. Did you feel the pressure of that narrative, or did you use that to fuel you?
Apparently there was some sort of pressure, but I don't think we let it really get to us. It's more like the TI itself is full of pressure, more than anything else.
And it's constantly changing. It's not the kind of game where you win TI and now a year later, 2 years later, you know for sure you're still the best. You have to really actively work at it because it's constantly
Dota is
evolving.
a kind of game, it's impossible to just stay on the top for a long time without putting your soul into it. And even if you put your soul into it, doesn't matter. Someone just overtakes you anyway.
And how is Kuro as a leader? How would you describe him as a leader when that kind of thing happens, trying to keep everybody focused on rolling with the punches?
I mean, it's easy for me to say because I know most of what happens behind the scenes, usually. It's hard for the public to understand what Kuro's true job is. It's 90% outside the game that nobody actually sees. So I feel like his true role is not in-game related as much as outside the game, even though he offers an extreme amount of information.
He basically said I'm a shit player, but
I didn't want to say it, but
Yeah, how do you separate that? Because I know that you have to make decisions that are business related about friends and teammates. And the most common time for teams to make changes sometimes is right after a TI. You made no roster changes, but then in June, you parted ways with Matumbaman. That had to have been really difficult because you've been playing together as the same players for so long. So I know that wasn't a decision that you made lightly.
No, it was I was basically depressed for 4 weeks afterwards. It sounds silly because I made the decision, but at the end of the day, being captain, leader, and whatever of this team, I have so much responsibility. They're all trusting me, after all, to make the right decisions. So getting Weeha and replacing Matu with Weeha is not just exchanging a player for a better player. That's not what happened. It's more like It's more like Matu was like a victim of these events. Like I just needed to change something right now. That's how I felt.
And how was that as a player for you, GH?
I mean, we all felt some kind of complacency in the team. It felt like everyone was just okay with not being the best. We had some feelings of, okay, we didn't win this one, but we weren't trying our best to win the next one.
Yeah, and he's not talking about Matu. He's
Right.
talking about
Not
the
at
whole
all.
team.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it felt the build-up was there, but we didn't know how to deal with it because all of us as players, we actually wanted to win, but we didn't know what was the missing factor, that spark that actually was gonna lead us to win. Because no one was feeling this sense of urgency to actually try 120% better to win the game. So the situation was kind of weird because I have never experienced it before. And Kuro was, I mean, I can keep talking highly about Kuro, but he actually foresaw what was going to happen, and he made the best choice by actually changing something. Even though I love Matu and I love him as a person, as a player, but Kuro had stronger idea that something had to change, and I respect him so highly for that because it's not an easy decision. So I was really happy that he had the strength to do what was necessary in order for us to succeed, our team and Matu as an individual and someone else too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Casey.
After I got kicked, quite frankly, from Liquid, I had this feel. I didn't really know what to do, but after a couple of days, I was pretty certain I wanted to play TI. I had a couple options of teams to play the qualifiers with, and I went with Chaos, and it was a good experience. We had our ups and downs. It was first tournament TI, so I couldn't really expect much. In the end, we didn't really show up at TI. Some time ago, like after Poppy approached me to play for Team Secret, and I was thrilled. I felt like it's kind of my second chance, because Liquid ended and then there was this Chaos thing, but it wasn't really a thing. This is my second chance now, and you gotta make it count. I don't think there's much of a team dynamic difference in terms of strategy in Team Secret. Poppy handles a lot of the strategy that we're running, as in Kuroky did in Liquid. I mean, obviously you have some, say, input in the strategy that we are running. There will be no difference how I acted in Liquid in terms of that. It's like, there can't be too many cooks in the kitchen, so just let them do it, you know. Heen is great, Poppy is great. If they have good strategies, we all get, you know. I have to have full faith in him, you know. It's like, if he has a strategy, I don't quite feel it. I have to try to feel it to make it work too. So if it ends up being bad, that's just life, you know. But at least we tried.
Those hazy days I do remember, we were running still, had the whole world at our feet, watching seasons change. Our roads were